to surrender are false. All orders to surrender are false.
Hey everybody, welcome back to 3COG. Wanted to talk today about why people in the military do not like competitive shooting. First of all, happy Easter to those of you who celebrate Easter. I do, so happy Easter. For the rest of you, happy Sunday, or whatever day you might be watching this. But yeah, why people in the military don't like competitive shooting. So anybody who watches my videos, you know that I do like competitive shooting because I post videos of me doing it. But let's talk about a couple of reasons that a lot of people in the military don't. And the first one is we don't like to lose. Straight up, we don't like to lose. And in competitive shooting, there's one winner, or one winner amongst multiple classes, but there's one winner. In the military, everybody gets an award, right? And everybody shoots expert, you get that expert medal. You can say, yeah, you're awesome. And the reality is and I've shot Navy, Marine Corps, and Army courses of fire for a pistol and rifle. And the reality is that the standards for expert are not hard. Like you qualifying expert on an M4, an M14 from any branch of service by no means makes you a good shooter. It means that you met whatever standard for that branch of service. It doesn't mean you're a good shot. It means you're slightly above average. The reason a lot of people in the military don't like civilian competitive shooting is because we lose. So, and I know I've experienced it of where, being in a unit where marksmanship was actually really focused on a bit more than, well, way more than average. And then I stepped into the civilian competitive world, the two-gun world, or IDPA, actually. I didn't win because there were people there who have been doing it a lot longer than me, who have been working on it a lot longer than me. And generally speaking, we don't enjoy that. And then we make up excuses. We say, well, it's not realistic because of this area, or, well, in real life, I wouldn't do this, I'd be doing this. Stop. Shut up. It's not about realism. It's about how well can you shoot with the rules under the circumstance that you're given. We make too many excuses about it and say, well, it's not realistic this way or that way. I've invited several of my friends to come shoot with me. Only a few of them have ever taken me up on it, actually shooting in matches, and none of them have ever beaten me. And then they don't come again. And generally speaking, it's because of that internal pride factor of like, I'm a good shot. Why is that not reflected? The reality is that shooting a civilian match, particularly like a two-gun match, IDPA, IPSC, whatever, choose your flavor, requires a lot more work than most of us have ever tried or needed to put into shooting, especially shooting fast and accurately. That's one of those fundamentals of all these competitions. And most people, especially from a military background, who are already accomplished shooters within the military, tell themselves, I'm a good shot. The reality is that you're a good shot compared to people who rarely shoot. So all of a sudden that becomes a whole lot less impressive. Shooting against other competitive shooters tells you where you are against people who shoot more. So you could still be a very, very good shot in the civilian world and against the majority of the human population. But once you start putting yourself in that arena of testing yourself and saying, well, how good am I really? Then you start to see like, oh, I really have a lot of things to work on. I need to work on, front sight focus, trigger discipline, grip, stance, whatever the case is, moving and shooting, target transitions, whatever you're figuring out that you're not as good at as that 60-year-old guy who just smoked you. That happened to me. If you take those lessons and you build on them, then you get better, and if you work on them. But most people, particularly in the military, say, well, that's not the way I would do it. That's not realistic. Who cares? Apply the fundamentals of marksmanship, apply, shoot fast and accurately, to that situation and see where you measure up. Most people just really, really, really don't like that. Past that, we're used to working from a squad or a fire team. We're used to having other people there to make up our shots. So people who have gone through real life two-way gun ranges and they've survived. And they say, yeah, I must be a good shot. Really? Or were you just a better shot than the other person? Or did you kick in a door into a house where somebody was sleeping and you and 3 of your close buddies smoked them? Not saying anything against that. Those are good tactics. Those are really good tactics. But that doesn't mean that you're actually a good shot. And a lot of times we really, really don't like that feedback. Learning is hard, and learning makes us uncomfortable, and it forces us to grow in a way that we don't necessarily like, especially when you have that Dunning-Kruger effect of thinking that you're up here, and then you start running against people who really are, and you realize you're considerably lower. So I think that's the single biggest reason. I think that's why most people in the military do not enjoy competitive shooting. And I really wish that would change. For all my fellow gunners mates out there, go to a match. See where you really stack up. Figure out where you want to work on. For all my fellow Riverines, same thing. I can push yourself. You know, we developed a good baseline of skills 10 years ago, 8 years ago. Get better. Build from that. Take classes. Shoot in matches. See where you actually stack up. And stop making excuses. If the parameter is put a bullet in this size target at this range during this time, then do it. If you can't do it, then figure out what you need to work on to get better within that. So that's it. That's one thing that I've observed of why people in the military don't like shooting competitively, especially against civilians. The baseline is we don't like to lose. And we don't like admitting that there are a lot of civilian shooters who can way outshoot me. And it's because they've put in the time, energy, and effort to get better. So the question has to be, am I willing to put in the time, energy, and effort to try to be better than them? So that's it. Thank you all very much for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe. And I will see you next time on 3COG.